Hey everybody, look what I got. I got Final Fight on the X68000. Big thanks to Emillister, who hooked me up. Yesterday, if you remember, I was doing Final Fight CD on the Sega CD, and I was talking about how I wanted to do this one first, and I couldn't get it running because even though I had the emulator to run it and the ROM to run it, the emulator had a problem that this game and some others wouldn't run. Mainly the SRAM was not large enough. And so what happened was I wasn't able to play it. I went myself crazy. It's not like I said I went myself. No, I went crazy trying to get it to work. And finally I just gave up. And my call for a modified SRAM file, when answered, as Emillister hooked me up, actually he sent me like a zip file of like the whole emulator in game. I didn't really need the emulator in game, but it was so nice of him to do that. And I was able to I just took the SRAM file that I needed out of there and hooked it up, and I was within seconds playing Final Fight. This is my second take of the video because I forgot that you can't compress X68000 videos on the fly, or they come out all green and shit, and it looks like fuck. So I'm doing an uncompressed video, which means I'm going to have this file that's going to be like several gigs, but, you know, I'll compress it afterwards. I hope you guys aren't too sick of watching the same, you know, first two levels of Final Fight over and over again. But, you know, here we go. So I talked about, well, shit, the X68000 a lot in the last video, and I'm really not going to talk about the system much because, like I said, I talked about it already. But I'll mention this port is considered to be the best, you know, straight port of Final Fight, better than the Sega CD version. Comparable to the Game Boy Advance version. Of course, that came many years later, and it was an enhanced port. It has no censorship at all. All the characters, such as Damned and Sodom, have their proper names. Poison and Roxy are not only in it, but they're wearing the proper clothes. In the Sega CD version, they had more clothes for whatever reason. Oh, fuck you. Alright, you gotta get rid of this guy, or at least get him out of my way. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Damn it, I'm fucking up here. You know, the Game Boy Advance version is the only other version that I can think of, other than the arcade, that has the proper names. But that doesn't have Poison and Roxy in it. If anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, I'll tell the story. There are two women characters that you could beat on called Poison and Roxy. And when they were going to do the Super NES version, you know, Nintendo made them censor certain names like Damned and Sodom, and because they're biblical references, not because it's a curse word. I don't know. You know, the guy who said that doesn't know what he's talking about. Uh-oh. There we go. But Poison, you know, they said to the director, hey, you know, with Poison and Roxy, well, they were talking about Poison. You know, people forget about Roxy because she doesn't have the interesting story behind her. They said, I'm uncomfortable with the idea of beating on a woman. And what happened was, they said, well, you mean the transvestite? So they tried to pass her off as a transvestite. And Capcom claims that they meant for her to be a tranny all along. You know, but, you know, whether they did or didn't, I think they didn't. I think that's, you know, something they said. Now, some people think that, you know, they made her a tranny because they were trying to get out of the censorship by saying, no, it's really a guy. But of course, if you know anything about Nintendo and their censorship, saying that there's a transvestite in the game is only going to make it worse on them. So I really don't think it's that. Especially since they said Roxy's not a transvestite. Roxy's an actual girl. So, you know, you're still beating on women. You know, just when Roxy comes around, you're beating on a woman. So I think, personally, I think that the reason they made her a transvestite is because, oops, I fucked up. I'm just gonna play as Hagar because that's who I feel like playing as. I don't want to play as Cody or Guy really. Oh, fuck you, Andori. There we go. I think that it's just like because they figured they'd have this girl in like really skimpy clothes and the, you know, the handcuffs, the short shorts, the undercleavage when you hit her, and would get all these gamers in the arcade all hot and bothered, and then drop the bomb that she's like packing a cock, you know, between her butt cheeks, and just confuse the hell out of people. I think they did it for the lulz, so to speak. So, yeah. that's what I think happened. I think the whole thing was intended as a joke. You know, kind of like, you know, like, is Birdo a transvestite or a transsexual or a girl? Get out of here. Oh, damn. I can't seem to get the first hit off. Get out of here, Poison. There's also the interesting story behind Andori and Andori Jr. and all the other Andoris. Well, two things. One is that he's based on Andre the Giant, famous wrestler from this era. And, off my ass. And the other is that he showed up as Yugo Andore in Street Fighter 3. It's also the only character, the only enemy character to appear in all 3 Final Fight games. I should mention that. He's kind of like the Abobo of the series, so to speak. But yeah, and Poison was with him. So, oh, fuck you. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I keep fucking it up. Oh, damn it. I'm all sorts of fucking up. See, beer, that's not censored. It's not called, like, soda pop and, you know, vitamin or whatever the fuck it is. They didn't censor anything in this version. Even the Sega CD version, Sega's not exactly known for, you know, forcing censorship. But, the Sega CD version, Poison and Roxy wore more clothes, so you couldn't see the undercleavage, and their shorts weren't quite so short. They looked like bicycle shorts instead of, like, cutoffs that were, like, you know, they weren't hot pants any longer. Which, since it's a dude, is a good thing. You know, just saying. But, yeah. Figured I'd mention that. What else? Give me a pineapple. How do you just eat a pineapple laying on the ground? You'd have to crack the sucker open and everything. Oh, fuck you, Elgato, or Hollywood, or whatever that was Hollywood. Holywood, or whatever her name is. Fuck you. Up yours. Get out of here. You too. Ah. Oh. Hagar's kind of similar to Zangief in a lot of ways. The characters are said to know each other even though they've never appeared in a game together. I mean, well, Hagar's been in a couple of Street Fighter games as a cameo in the background, but never as a playable character. But the spinning clothesline, the other thing, the pile driver, they were said to have learned that from each other. One learned one from the other, and the other learned one from, you know, they learned from each other. They're kind of friendly rivals from what Capcom says. Another similarity to Zangief that not many people realize is just like Zangief, his normal jump attack is a drop kick, but if you press down, he does a body splash. Let's see how... Oh, hell. I believe that the body splash is less powerful, but you can hit more characters at once. Fuck you. So, literally the only technical difference between the X68000 version of Final Fight and the original version on the arcades is that this version supports less characters on the screen at once, less enemies on the screen at once. But you hardly notice it, you know? No. Right, the trick with Sodom is to get him into holds, because trying to go toe-to-toe with him is like suicide. There we go. Ah, hell. I was hoping he would go for the swords first. Yeah. Fuck you. Ah, right. He dashes right when I'm near him. Fuck you. It's over. Oh, it was over. Now it's not. There we go. Ah. Hey, you'll actually get to see a little bit of level 3. Actually, I don't know. I got that fucking beat on the car thing coming up. Also, this is not missing the level, the industrial level, but that was really something that was all exclusive to the Super NES versions. I find that when you're doing this, the pipe is a waste of time. I love how the license plate just says Japan. Very non-specific. Come on, get out. Come on! Very non-specific. There we go. This is the best part. I got just enough time to show you this. If you go to perfect and you beat on the car fully, Hagar or whoever you're playing as leaves. And then, check it out. Oh my god. And some of the censored versions he says, oh my god. Sounds like he's from Boston. Well, I can't really show you any of the west side. I got no time left, but there's Final Fight. X68000. Thanks once again to Emillister for supplying the SRAM file I needed to play it.